Welcome to S7N Celebrity True Crime. I'm Sneak. In part two of episode four, by judge or jury, we'll examine the third week of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. This will wrap up the recap of that week of testimony. Deonte Nash, a stylist who worked with Combs and Cassie Ventura, took the stand. Nash told the court that he was upset with Cassie and threatened not to release her music. Nash stated he threatened not to release her music often when he was upset with her. That was a pattern. That's what he threatened her with. That's how he kept her under control. I'm not going to release your music. And if you piss me off even further, I'm going to release your freak off tapes. And everybody's going to see them and send it to your parents. So he always threatened her with that. Nash testified that Combs also threatened her parents around 2012 or 2013. Nash testified that Combs roughed him up the night of the Vanity Fair Oscar party in 2014. Now, why is he roughing up the stylist? He's there to make them look good, make sure Cassie looks good, make sure he looks good, He just always chooses violence. Now, maybe Nash probably knew better, but what if Nash had just hauled off and, gave him a two-piece? Just pop. Nobody's probably done that since he's, risen to this position of power. But I really think that probably would have helped him back in the day if somebody had done that. Maybe he wouldn't be like he is today. He might have needed somebody to give him some straightening off the rip. After Nash complied and put the hair up, Combs said, "See, I was right. It does look better up." Nash testified that Combs was not shy about threatening Ventura's career. He stated, Combs said, if I hear from your smart A mouth again, your little mixtape won't come out." Nash testified he was with Cassie at her apartment, getting her ready for a festival. Combs arrived enraged and assaulted Cassie. He grabbed Ventura by the hair and started to kick and hit her. Nash and Mia, victim 4, you're going to hear from her, both tried jumping on his back, but were thrown were thrown off. He was in there bucking like a mechanical bull. And kudos to them for trying to help her, for actually intervening, trying to stop him from savagely beating her. There are big burly men around all the time with guns, and Uncle Paulie with his switchblade, and nobody will help her. So kudos to them for trying to help. I just wish they could have held on and choked him out. But, he was bucking and they couldn't hold on. But good for them for trying. Unfortunately, in this incident, Cassie was severely hurt. She sustained injuries in the other attacks. This one was more critical. When he threw her, she landed on her bed frame. Her bed frame was sharp. She cut her forehead right above her eye. It was a deep gash, and it bled profusely. Nash testified that Combs threatened to release 6 tapes of Cassie to her parents' work and get them fired. Nash tried to reassure Cassie that Combs wouldn't do that because he's on those tapes. But what Cassie revealed to Nash is that no, he wouldn't be on those tapes because he was the one videotaping. He was the one filming. He filmed her with other men. Nash reported the violence to Chief of Staff Christina Coram. Christina said she speak to Combs, but the violence continued. And like I said, it would be a waste of time reporting him to HR. I mean, he is HR. He's every department of Bad Boy. He runs it. He owns it. He's the founder. Nobody's going to tell him what to do. Nobody's going to tell him how to move. That's even asking him to stop the brutal attacks against his girlfriend. He's not going to listen. Nash testified that Ventura did not want to go to freak offs, but did because Combs would be upset if she didn't participate. He also testified that Mia was on a conference call with Cassie and she had a black eye. He said he could tell because he could see it when her makeup would fade away over time, how your makeup dissolves throughout the day, and the black eye was visible. She could see it. He could see it. Nash also recalled spotting a random man joining Ventura in the Las Vegas hotel room without Combs present. He said he didn't really ask any questions about it, it's her business, so he really didn't get into it. But the defense tried to use that to kind of feed the narrative that Cassie was promiscuous and she would sleep with random men anyway, and she enjoyed these freak offs. So they kind of felt that maybe that would help their view on it and what they were trying to project to the jury. After that, he was finished with his testimony, and they completed him for that day. Next on the stand, we would see Mia, Combs' former assistant. She's using the pseudonym Mia. Her real name was given to the jurors only. Mia testified that she worked for Combs. It was extremely chaotic and toxic, and I definitely believe that. Mia testified that Combs' mood changes were radical. Combs threw things at her, threw her against the wall, threw her in the pool, threw something against her head, and SA'd her on multiple occasions. Wow. Mia testified she worked long hours. Once she worked 5 days straight with no sleep. How is that possible? I stayed up a couple of days straight, but not 5. She had a physical breakdown. And then Combs allowed her to rest. Mia and Cassie grew close and became pretty good friends. I would hope he did let her sleep after 5 days. How is that possible? I'm still baffled on that. Mia testified that Ventura and Combs had a rocky relationship, and she witnessed Ventura getting beaten by Combs. Maya recounted the attack on Cassie by Combs, who threw her, and she split her head open by hitting her bed frame. I talked about that a little earlier. It was a very graphic injury, severe injury. Mia testified that she and Cassie attended a Prince party without Combs' knowledge. I mean, really, you got to get permission for him to go out? They're both grown. Sad. Combs showed up at the party. They spotted him and tried to run and hide, but he caught Cassie. He attacked her and threw her to the ground. Prince's security intervened. Thank goodness somebody's security would intervene. Somebody's security would help. Combs suspended Mia without pay, stating she was insubordinate. Now, you insubordinate because you went out to a party with his girlfriend. Okay. Mia recalled they would have hotel nights, and they lasted days at a time. You remember Cassie saying that sometimes they would last 48, 72 hours. The longest one was 4 days. She would set them up. She would bring toiletries, clothes, candles, lotions, baby oil, Astroglide, and condoms. Does that list sound familiar? Mia stated she was asked to clean up the rooms afterwards. Oh no. And the rooms were in shambles. I can believe that. She needed a safety suit to clean that up. Ugh. They were nearly destroyed. Really nasty. Including candle wax everywhere, broken glass, water on the floor, sometimes blood. Oh, that was just unsanitary. Oil on the walls and wet towels. Mia stated Combs would travel with drugs, that little med bag, and take them at inappropriate times. Once he took drugs right before an appearance with Chelsea Handler. Combs would take ketamine and other drugs. Mia testified Combs SA'd her after celebrating his 40th birthday. Also in 2009 and 2010, while staying at his LA home, she awoke with him on top of her. She should have clawed his face. Ugh. Mia testified she didn't want to have sex with Combs, and it was very quick. Too many, brother. Ugh. She should be glad it was quick. That's the only good thing about it. It didn't last long. She was never allowed to lock her door in any of Combs' homes when she spent the night there to do work. Yeah, I would tell him, look, bro, I can't do it. I'm not comfortable. I'm like, did they ever just tell him, look, I'm not comfortable with this? I mean, obviously not, but Mia testified Combs made her perform oral sex. He came out of the closet with his penis out and shoved it in her mouth. Oh Lord, it made her girl. Okay, I'm traumatized. I am traumatized. She said she felt it was her fault somehow. She was prepared to take these secrets to the grave. Mia returned on Friday to complete her testimony for that week with the prosecution. She was eventually fired due to Combs shutting down Revolt Films, a media portion of the company. She lost her position. She worked as the director of development and acquisition. She hired an employment attorney to help her work over severance, which Combs took offense to it. I guess he was hurt by it. They say he was hurt. She was awarded $400,000 in a settlement. Asked if Mia could work, she said she could now. She has severe complex PTSD. On cross, the defense showed pictures and videos of Mia laughing with Combs to prove there were good times. Now, the defense need to quit. Of course, it was some good times. Parties, going places, traveling. There, anytime, even when you are with an abuser, you have good times. It's not always bad and doom and gloom, but it's just when the bad times come, they just do not, you can't balance the two. The bad is really, really bad. But, they're always doing that, showing them having fun and, at parties and stuff. Of course, they had a good time at some point. Mia replied, yes, I never said all times were bad. I said the day went like his mood, which makes sense because he's extremely moody. I believe it's the drugs. The mood is good. The day is good. If the mood is bad, the day is bad. That pretty much sums it up. That's very believable. Mia faced a strong cross, asked by Combs' lawyers if she was wrong about the number of assaults. Mia stressed, no. Everything I said here is true. Mia said she was afraid of Combs and asked if she thought he'd kill her. She said yes. The defense had more cross, but Judge Subramanian instructed Mia would have to return on Monday for the rest of her testimony, and then he dismissed the jurors and the rest of the court. So we will pick back up with Mia's cross in the next episode, but this will conclude episode 4 in the second part. Tune in for more updates as we follow the Sean Diddy Combs trial. This is the complete full recap of week 3 testimony. Yes. Don't forget to check back for continuous updates. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. Thank you again. Take care of yourself and each other.